Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Layers of Fear 2 blind playthrough, and this is episode 12.
No! What will the Black Wanderer do now? Don't worry. One day we'll get to see how it ends.
Well, I'm guessing we are gonna go to the toilet. In the last episode, we did find out a little info about James and Lily. That she seems to have nourished his
Lily, what if something bad happens? What if I can't find you?
Shh. Listen to my voice. Hold it deep inside, and I will always be there for you.
Forever?
Well, as far as siblings go, and older sisters, Lily seems to be on the plus side. Births to Mr. and Mrs. Abraham, a daughter at St. Bartholomew's Hospital, Saturday, February 3rd at 11:30 p.m. To Mr. and Miss Hopkins, a son at St. Thomas's Hospital, Sunday, February 4th at 4:30 p.m. To Mr. and Mrs. Burns, a son at St. Bartholomew's Hospital, Sunday, February 4th at 2 a.m. To Mr. and Mrs. Wicks, a daughter at the Royal Hospital, Monday, February 5th at 6 a.m. Deaths. Anderson entered into rest Saturday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. Beloved son, funeral Tuesday, 2 p.m. Highgate Cemetery. Burns entered into rest Sunday, February 4th at 2 a.m. Beloved wife, mother of two. Funeral Wednesday, February 7th at 2:30 p.m. West Ham Cemetery. Oh. I get it. Green entered into rest Monday, February 5th at 8:30 a.m. Dearly beloved husband, funeral Thursday, February 8th at 1 p.m. Highgate Cemetery. Miller entered into rest Saturday, February 3rd at 10 p.m. Beloved husband and father, funeral Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Hampstead Cemetery. So Burns, she gave birth to a son at February 4th at 2 a.m. and passed away February 4th at 2 a.m. So his name, I guess, is James Burns, and his mother died in childbed, giving birth to him. And I'm guessing dear old dad may not have gotten over it. Not really. That's why he's being a monster to his children. We've been in the basement. Okay. The faucets.
If you want to make it to the end, just remember, the monster can be scary, but it's sad too. Because at the end of the day, it's just as lost as we are.
Is that some foreshadowing? Perhaps? That's just very peculiar. But now that we are at a new episode, I was thinking today about at the point of this narration. I read that Sony, I think are gonna make, or they are planning or working on 6 video game related movies, different franchises. They have not not disclosed which franchises they will be making movies out of. And history has shown that a lot of times when they make movies related to video games, results may vary, to put it lightly. And I was spending a lot of time thinking about why that is. Why do movies, or why do video games have a tendency to translate so poorly into the movie world? I would say throughout the years there have been quite a lot of attempts at adapting video games into movies, and with varying results. I would say to this day, and I think most of you at least can agree, that the absolute best adaptation of a video game to a movie is, of course, Super Mario Brothers. The one with Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper, where the Mushroom Kingdom has been replaced by a cyberpunkian dystopian world where Dennis Hopper plays the evil dictator King Koopa, and Toad is a troubadour. And if it's not blatantly obvious by now, I'm kidding. It is considered one of the absolute worst video game adaptations through all time. What am I doing wrong? And I would say that it is rightfully so. It is absolutely atrocious. And I think it is also a great example of my theory of why adaptations rarely work very well. And it is because they do it without respect for the original work. If you get what I mean. Because you have to respect the source material to be able to make a good adaptation. I think if they had done a Super Mario movie where they would have stayed true to the video games, somewhat at least, make it take place in the Mushroom Kingdom, make it a real kids movie with the classic characters looking as you would expect them to do, and Princess Peach getting kidnapped, all that good stuff. It would probably have come out a much better movie than it did. But no, they went and changed everything, and we ended up with the atrocity that we got. And I think that is actually a big problem. Like with the Assassin's Creed movie, and this, I shouldn't say too much about this, probably because I actually haven't watched the Assassin's Creed movie, but I do know that I think quite a big part of it takes place in modern days. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you do that? Because I used to be a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed games. But I didn't play them so I could spend time in the modern era. There we go. That was an odd puzzle. But going back to respecting the source material when it comes to video game adaptation into the movie realm. Actually, in all honesty, one of the best adaptations I have seen, and this is actually me being honest.
Look, it's her.
What? Who?
She's the one, Mr. Hardy. She's the one that would take us there.
Is Silent Hill. And this is something I've talked about before. Dear Sir, in regards to the recent inspection carried out on your premises and on behalf of the County Council, I hereby oblige you to introduce necessary fire safety and prevention measures, i.e. ensure the theater equipment is compliant with schedule of fire-resisting materials. Ensure the theater infrastructure facilitates escape in the event of fire. You have 30 days to comply. Regards, unintelligible signature, His Majesty's Inspector of Constabulary and Fire Services. Just got this. 30 days, daft buggers, stall them. Now where was I? Yes, Silent Hill. Because that stays true to the source material. It's surreal, it's scary, it contains Pyramid Head, which I think you can have mixed feelings about that fact. Lucia, the first mate, she won't have no one disrespect the crew or the captain because she is very proud, so proud. Because some people might shit themselves. Might say that he is not supposed to be in that movie because he is so tightly connected to James Sunderland in the second game. And I would not disagree with you.
Father, no, please.
And suddenly we are in The Shining. But I would also say that he is a great movie monster. And he works...
Stay out of it, Lily.
Why can't you just leave us alone?
And he works so well in the
filled
movie.
The boy's head with nonsense. As if he wasn't useless enough.
You're the one who's useless. You cruel, one-eyed freak.
What did you call me?
Get away from him. You monster.
Ah. So it was foreshadowing. Shit, maybe I should have memorized that puzzle. Okay. Well, how hard can this be? Either way, going back to Silent Hill and why I think it works so well. As I said, it stays true to its source material. They keep the surreal, haunting feeling. They have kept all the monsters from the game, like the nurses and all that. And it actually takes place in Silent Hill. Cowards die many times before their death. Okay. And oops. Not to be. No, that was not meant to be. And I also think I would say it's not a good movie per se, but Doom, the movie that came out, was it like 2006? Maybe earlier? Probably earlier, can't remember. The one with the very young, not so cool Carl Urban. Time and Tide Wait for No Man. Yes. And he plays a character called Grim. So it's not even the Doomslayer. Instead it's that twat, and Dwayne Johnson is in it as well. Now let's see, let's focus here. Shall we? If we try to run in here. Everything became quiet. So there we go. But what's the saving grace of that movie? And you may not agree with me on this one, and I wouldn't hold it against you if you don't. But saving grace in that movie is when it shifts over towards the end. He injects himself with some shit and and the movie switches over to first person mode. And it is super cheesy. But it's also awesome. Like, I love that sequence. And it has not aged very well, as far as I can remember. It's been a few years since I last watched it. But it was so much fun. The first time I saw that movie, I will admit to being quite intoxicated at the time. I watched it over at a friend's place. Now where's the death light? Or has it passed? So it won't be coming back. Which way is it heading? It's heading my way. Yes, I was quite intoxicated at the time. Me and a friend had been drinking and we watched the movie, and I was laughing so hard when that sequence came. Oh, ooh, shit. I got stuck. Well, I thought that I was learning how to live. I have been learning how to die. Well, that's being rather negative now, isn't it? So let's see. It's gonna come back this way. There we go. And we haul ass over to the next part. Can we make it over here? Yes, we can. Not even close. There we go. And yes, it's dumb, it's cheesy. But it's also what saves an otherwise very mediocre sci-fi action, whatever you want to call it. And that is also something I think movie makers try to get away with, cutting a lot of corners when they try to adapt video games into movies. Because I think a lot of them are just rejected shit. But yes, that is actually true. Rejected shit. That they just slap on a famous video game franchise and try to get a quick buck out of it. So, not quite sure how I'm supposed to get out of this alive. But what do you think, dear viewer? Please let me know in the comments. Which is your favorite movie adaptation of a video game, and what is your least favorite? Also, a great example of just slapping a video game franchise name on a shit script is definitely Street Fighter. I am dead certain that that was a script for like an action movie that got rejected, and they just thought, fuck it, slap in Sagat and Ryu and Ken and all the others, and the kids will buy it. I can't remember when that movie came out. I know that I wasn't very old when it came out, and I still, even back in those days, thought it was absolutely atrocious.
Father, it's today.
I know. I'm going to see her. Take care of the house while I'm gone.
Did you get anything for James? It's his day too.
I had to buy something for your mother. That's all I could afford.
And on that very depressing note, we will end this episode. But let me know what you think of movie adaptations of video games. And I want to thank you very much for watching. And I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.